Alright guys, we're on week 5. We're talking about shame. Shame. It's the dirty little secret. You know what? We're talking about it. We're just going to talk about it. One way that shame can manifest in your life right now, even though shame may have been created, in our formative years, it's in your life right now and it's controlling your life, or could be your life right now. And it could be in the form of an addiction.
Right.
Talk to us about how those things kind of tie together.
Well, as we talked about before, this drive to cover up shame. And that drive can manifest, like we talked about, in materialism, but also manifest in behaviors, activities that are there to help cover this up, to either prove that I'm okay, so I may get addicted to making money. If I make enough money, then that'll prove I'm alright.
Right.
It also, addiction shows up as a way to cover up the feeling that goes along, and really feelings that go along with believing that you're worthless.
So kind of numb the feelings or kill the feelings.
I want to numb that. I don't want to feel bad.
Yeah.
And so I'll go drink. I'll do drugs. I'll exercise. I'll get on Facebook. I'll do whatever it takes, because right now I don't feel so good, and I don't know what to do with that. All I ever learned was to shame it and shut it down. So. And it's so much time and effort to do that. You need hundreds of different ways to do it.
Okay.
It's not enough just to work all the time, or to be on the computer all the time, or to be on your cell phone all the time. It's a constant running away, and the shame isn't static. It's active in your life. It's driving as hard as it can to get into your consciousness. It says you must pay attention to me in order to heal, in order to live the life you want. You're going to have to learn to deal with all these feelings of I'm no good, I'm terrible, I'm sad, I'm hurt, I feel alone. So the more you work to cover it up, the more it pushes against you. So there's this always.
It becomes extreme.
Right, and so the more that happens, the more you have to do. The more you do, the more it covers up. And so that in a sense is the nature of addiction, is that I've got to cover this up. I can't feel, I can't be in my feelings, I can't pay attention to my body, I can't listen to those voices. So I'm going to shut them up, and I'm going to learn to do that in different ways. So drink too much, eat too much.
And so does that show why addiction always escalates? Because doesn't it
always
escalate?
Escalates because the attempt to cover it up is never enough.
Right.
You wind up with that feeling. You finally reached your goal weight. You finally got the degree you wanted. You finally made $1 million, and you still feel
it.
And so then you got to go do something else, and oh man, it's like, oh. And so you go out and work harder, and you do the wrong thing bigger, better, and faster, believing it will shut it down.
And does the shame voice that's just trying to get your attention, it gets louder?
It gets louder
as a result.
And what it's always saying to you is, please learn how to love me.
Okay. And I think that's an important distinction. This is, shame is not like this demon, this out to wreck your life, the lives of everybody in your life.
Not at all. It's actually, in a sense, a very pure form of who you were before this happened to you. This innocence, the energy of a child, to be not childish, but childlike, that you can play and laugh and enjoy, and then you can also hurt and cry. I mean, when children are crying, there's a purity in that. They're really, really sad. And if you watch them and they're not shamed, you see that they finish crying and then they're playing again.
They can move through it.
They move through it.
They don't go shut it up.
Right.
Isn't that interesting?
It's not a crisis, and it's not something you have to do something about. So the shamed parts of us are always striving to experience love. And so the covering up is then the roadblock to being loved. And then the drive to love keeps pushing through, and you cover it up, and so In an addiction, you're running away from love. You're running away from loving yourself. You're running away from allowing yourself to be loved and allowing these parts of you to be loved. You keep pulling the levers and blowing the smoke and fire, saying, love this, love this.
Because you don't believe that it's possible.
You absolutely know it's not possible.
Yes, no.
It's
that's the
not
thing,
a
where it's
belief.
more than a thought.
Yeah, it's
a knowingness.
It is a gospel knowledge of
that you
my
are
worthlessness.
Okay. So covering that up, and then extreme behavior, and it gets louder and louder, so it just escalates.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I guess the nature of addiction, it ends in death or jail.
At some point, depending on the kind of addiction you pick, crack cocaine is going to kill you a lot faster than smoking will.
Yeah.
Being addicted to violence, you can get addicted to anything. It will kill you faster than being addicted to television.
And this is something too, 'cause I know there's a lot of pop thought out there, and the fact that there is no, talk about it, there's no healthy addiction.
Right.
I can't be addicted to exercise and that'd be a good thing.
There's not a healthy way to run from yourself.
Right. Because if it's an addiction, you're running from it.
Right.
Running from the shame.
Right. And
so it can't be a healthy way to do that.
Exactly. And you can tell the difference by really examining, is this behavior, activity, does it interfere with the quality of my life and relationships? If you're exercising 8 hours a day, that's going to interfere with your relationships, interfere with the quality of your life. It's going to narrow your life.
Yeah.
So you look at that, and it's not so much what most people think of. Drinking is probably the easiest way to talk about it. If I drink a certain amount over a certain amount of time, then I'm an alcoholic. And everybody I've ever talked to, worked with that has a drinking problem has an image of alcoholic. That is way beyond anything they've ever done. No matter what they've ever done.
The flask at work, taking a nip or something.
I've never missed a day of work. But from Friday night to Monday morning, you're trashed.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
But the picture, the image, that I've used to cover all this up, that image is being.
I sure bet it's easy to ignore those gaps of time too.
Sure, yeah, because you write that off because the focus is on, I've never missed a day of work.
Okay, that's your.
I've never gotten a ticket for driving drunk. I've never been physically hurt. When I was out drinking. And so you can, but you put away the things you haven't learned and you haven't done in your life and the relationships you've lost and those kinds of things because you're always striving for something more.
So in the sense of that, is there a way to know if it's too much, or do you already know? If you're doing this one thing to escape, is there, I'm sure it's different per person.
Well, you're going to at some point, this experience, this part of you that says, love me, is going to find ways to get your attention.
Okay.
And that's what most people call sabotage. I sabotage the job or a relationship or this career. Or, I didn't realize that all along the way I was setting up these, places where it was all going to blow up. That's not sabotage, in my opinion. That's the attempt to be loved. So you find yourself in a relationship that is going well for you, in a romantic kind of relationship, and then I don't know how it happened. I didn't mean for it to happen, but I had an affair. That was this part of you saying, you've got to pay attention, but you can't keep believing that this is real love, that this is the right relationship that's going to cure me and make me lovable. Just because, this person says they love me, I know they can't. So you've got to deal with this. So that drive is going to get you in trouble. It's going to get you found out. So that then you'll feel bad, which is feeling ashamed. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that.
Okay.
And then you have the opportunity to share that and to heal it. But what most people do is they rationalize that away and
keep moving.
And then just go to the next thing.